Hello once again, everyone. It is ITSL 2526. We are playing Chairman Meow, which I'm sure you will all agree is one of the finest usernames in the Twilight Struggle community. So kudos to them. Right. They've opened standardly. We don't have socialist government, so we're a 442 open. No 4-op cards, which is regrettable. A couple of clean 3-op cards. We could containment here, because most of the cards are playable and it would allow us to space NASA. Turning Arab-Israeli War, Cambridge 5 into 3-ops NND Reds. Yeah, I think it's containment here, right? And then if we get purged, we have to hold Warsaw Pact. I think it's got to be that. I don't see any other sensible headline. Let's get that on. Right. I am content with that headline, as I was not massively content with the hand itself. So we got Truman, we got NASA, we got Indy Reds, we got Warsaw Pact, we have got Arab-Israeli War, we got Cambridge 5, and a card I've already forgotten is Vietnam Revolts. Cool, 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 cool. So we want to try and get into Thailand before we drop Vietnam Revolts at the end of the turn. We'd like to space NASA for sure. The rest we can play and just hope to survive. Okay, well, you know, we can't stop them going to space, but at least it beats being purged and stuff, so fine. And now I expect to see them coup, and almost certainly Iran, but maybe Italy. We shall see. And then we can start planning our hand. I quite like going into Malaysia, repairing Iran if it gets dinged. It's a big one. Ah, ooh, that's a good result for them. I think they always like that. All right. Truman Doctrine, because we're not going to be doing anything fancy in Europe. Now we're going to space NASA. Right, we want to avoid getting Suez Crisis out of the Middle East, right? That's a disaster. We have to put an influence somewhere in the Middle East. And threatening to walk back into Iran is more annoying, and Jordan's less curable. So let's put one there and one there. DEFCON's at 4. Sure. That's fine. Uh, 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 uh. All right. So Chairman Meow and I met in London. That was 2022, I think, if I remember rightly. So It was long enough after COVID I was prepared to leave the house. Um, and then we met again at Stockholm, but didn't play in that convention. So yeah. So that's cool. It's the nice thing about the conventions. Get to meet fellow strugglers and usually have quite an entertaining time. You do have to play 8 games in 2 days, which is pretty intense. But apart from that, it's But you know, like if we didn't play those games, it would be kind of weird showing up, right? Because that's how we know each other. Um, but yeah, there you go. Um, I think my brain's built for 6, but that's not necessarily enough to actually get an outright winner. So I totally get the 4 games per day thing, but my goodness, there is a point in either day where you're like, this is a lot of Twilight Struggle. So there you go. Speaking of a lot of Twilight Struggle, this is game 14 for me in ITSL. So getting towards the 20 mark. That's very sensible. That's very threatening. It's disappointing we don't have Korean War. So it's not. Yeah. I mean, I I do want to level up so that if they have Asia scoring, they don't just sneak a domination at us. So let's push into Iraq. 3 ops, of course. Containment, 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 containment. Let's pop the other one into Panama and make it just slightly less coolable. I mean, we're definitely goading into playing into Pakistan. But again, with that Indo-Pakistani war, it's kind of gross. And I'm still happy, ideally, spacing off Nasser at some point. De Gaulle. No, just doing the sensible thing. All right, we are going to. This is somewhat unorthodox, but I don't want to tip that I have Cambridge 5 just yet. So we'll use Arab-Israeli war, and we'll go into Jordan and Lebanon, and we'll pop one in the Philippines to level up Asia. Ideally not a 6, please. 5 doesn't do it. Feels really weird putting ops into non-battlegrounds at DEFCON 4 in Asia, but I mean they're unless they play into Taiwan, which would be completely bizarre. They're gonna have to start taking pot shots. Oh, I didn't know Pakistani war gone. That's nice for us. All right, so they're goading us to coup first. I think first I'm gonna space NASA, and we got our VP, which is nice. So now they basically have the choice to go into Pakistan or they've just given up on Asia. This is good for us. So now we will coup Iran. Wow. Okay, and then we seen De Gaulle go, so we could jam 3 into France. I mean, if we're lucky in inverted commas, they blockade us and we just pitch Vietnam revolts. With NASA gone, we may want to just tap the Middle East for presenceless / presenceless domination in case we can sneak it away in the headline. But that was very lucky for us. We were just looking to get Millops, and instead we got quite more than that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I expect to see overprotecting East Germany and Poland, and then maybe one in Czechoslovakia or something. Independent Reds is back in the shuffle, so I don't think they're too worried about that. Yes. And one in Austria, okay. Doesn't want the last coup. Pakistan is fine under the circumstances. Presence in Syria. So the question is, do we go hard on France or do we tap Syria? What is in the deck that can screw up France? Suez Crisis and socialist governments. Neither of which have been seen. So if we do dominate Europe, that's worth 5 VP bone if we get it. The Middle East is worth 3, but if we tap it, it's worth 6. So arguably France is better because it's like that's 2 VP more, right? 3 plus 5, 2 VP more than 6 and 0, but only when they don't frig with it in the headline. I'm gonna do France. I'm not sure it's right, but that's what I'm gonna do. Like I said, I don't know if it's right, but I'm doing it. We got Europe scoring. We didn't get socialist governments or Suez, but now we're holding Europe. We can, of course, use it at our leisure. So, what was the end of term on for them? They played Formosa. Yeah, I got that. That's cool. This is another delightful hand. I mean, having actually contained, we had a pretty good old turn of it, didn't we? And now we've got 2 4-op cards of our own. We've got Defectors. Unfortunately, we have CIA, which is a shame. Europe, NORAD, 5-year plan. There's great hand. Great hand. So what are they likely to headline? Suez, SocGov, Fidel. They're not likely to do blockade. Worst case scenario, they do Middle East scoring into our Defectors, right? But I think Defectors is the play here. Yeah. CIA is no good at DEFCON 4. 5-year plan's not exactly that fun. We're not looking to pull anything and not looking to DEFCON trap them. And we can't play Europe in case they play Suez or SocGov. So let's go Defectors. And if they play Middle East scoring, well done them. But I expect to see Suez or SocGov. If I'm really lucky, I'll see D-Star or Decol, right? But we're going to get a counter coup. If they only have Decol, we're going to get Thailand. Yeah, a very milquetoast headline. Does stop them using those ops for D-Star if they're holding it, which is good. But I expect to see, well, potentially a very hopeful coup on Iran. Marshall Plan and US Japan are the remaining 4-op cards in the deck. So both of those are pretty lousy for them. Suez is less lousy. Going Panama instead, very wise. DEFCON is 3. So the question is, do we want Milops or not? I think what I want to do instead is take Pakistan. Need to remember to hold a card for. Do we want to? Just wondering if we want to. I think we want to give him the option of giving us the China card, and that then stops D-Style into Thailand. So yeah, thinking out loud, if he gives us the China card, because Formosa Resolution is now active, so we've got Taiwan in our back pocket for battlegrounds as well. If he wants to flip Pakistan with the China card, I'm okay with that because we get the China card. Really glad I put that extra op in Panama. Now, if he does coup again, we want to get into Angola ahead of decol/D-style. And I do think we're being led into that at the moment. So we can finish the turn with Vietnam revolts now that we're into Thailand. So if he coups again, I will use nuclear test ban and go 1 Angola, 3 India, I reckon. Although with D-style in the deck, and probably him being nervous about scores, going to Egypt isn't a bad move with Nasser in the deck as well, in the discard pile. Because it would be nice to continue to maintain the Middle East, would it not? So yes, we're putting him in the position to make some difficult decisions. Of course, if they're holding decol and D-style, then those are easy decisions. D-style at DEFCON 3. So we'll threaten Thailand in exchange for a coup. Yes. Very sensible. Into 3 op battlegrounds is very good. Alright, so we will not take the bait, I guess. We will overprotect Thailand. And now if he plays into Egypt, we get to coup it. At some point, we need to drop Europe scoring. Very nice. Way to make it a positive affair. Influence, right. So we should get a coup here. All right, you just want India, right? So we bag Europe scoring now, right? Is he going to use the China card to flip Pakistan now? Probably should use the CIA first to cover that. If he does, we are still likely to be able to deny domination just by smothering the one stab battlegrounds. That was probably a bit of a tempo hit by me. Should have thought Pakistan first. Europe's not was not significantly at risk. Do also need to pop another one in Thailand because decol into right gets the final coup. Big one. So we go Iran to Egypt and Pakistan. If we get blockaded, we ditch 5-year plan and we can use CIA and Vietnam revolts. Oh, he's got decol. Well done, well done. And we didn't get into Angola. For shame me. All that talk and didn't do it. So we want to. What do we want to do? I think I want to put one into Taiwan, to put another two into Taiwan to level up battlegrounds. Because we can use Vietnam revolts, two into Taiwan, and then we're 3-3 on battlegrounds. Yeah. If we can bag Middle East scoring for domination, we've had a decent early war. That's going to help in Europe for sure. And doot. We'll worry about Canada later with NORAD gone. So, yeah, possibly take Taiwan here. Or 3 into Iraq. Or 3 into Saudi. What looks good? Taiwan. Okay. In which case, we just need to flip. So they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So how about that? That leaves us vulnerable to De Gaulle duck and cover. It doesn't, because you need a 4-up card to flip France, and it's a reshuffle thing. So I don't feel too bad about that. So what's in the deck? Blockade, Fidel, Sotgov. Sotgov, again, France is sufficiently overprotected. I am content with that. We should be aggressive in the region that's unscored. Yes, okay. Okay. So we got Sotgov, which is great. Duck and cover in the headline is quite nice. We got blockade away, space decal. They got dealt Middle East scoring, which is a problem for them. They got US Japan, but they also got UN intervention to use with it. Did we get? They got special relationship, Olympic Games. We got blockade. So they've got Middle East, US Japan, UN intervention, special relationship, and Olympic Games. None of those seem very headlineable. They know we've got duck and cover, so they won't headline Olympic Games. We were redealt Decal, Cambridge 5, De Gaulle, and that was it. All the other ones were new. Vietnam, duck and cover, Fidel, Sotgov, blockade. Yeah. All right, so we'll go duck and cover. Seems like the best of a red hand option. And now we can't blockade, which is a big problem. That means we have to event decolonization. What a time to be purged. Boy howdy. All right, we will at least, he says. We may not even be able to keep Middle East domination. They may be able to get it to 3-3. That is a rough hand to get purged on. So we now have to hold blockade. Space to Gaul. Potentially space Sotgov. And event the other cards. So finish with Vietnam, Fidel Cambridge 5 anytime we like. So there's the UN US. So we'll start by popping one in Israel. Pop another one in Israel. Tip that we don't have any scoring cards. Not that that massively helps our case. Now we can event de Gaulle. I mean, if he spends his entire turn trying to deal with the Middle East, I am okay with that. So he's got Middle East scoring and 2 other cards. Vietnam Revolts is very regrettably going to give Asia domination, but we can't not play it without giving up West Germany, which is a lot worse, I think. There's nothing like being forced to trigger decall as America, eh? That's the purge dream. Yeah, okay. So let's give them Asia. So it's painful, but we could, if he takes Israel, we could use socialist governments to tap Iraq or Saudi to get domination. But it does leave France quite takeable in the mid-war. So that's a gamble. We now also need to take Japan the old-fashioned way to level up Asia. Oh boy. Well, we'll gamble on it. It's fun. If he's got 5-year plan, I look like a right idiot. Hooray! Right, we've got the China card. So Thailand can't be flipped, at least, with Vietnam Revolt's gone and us holding the China card. So I think we're going to stick it in France. Because now it's more than a 4-up card away. That was a rough turn. So, Central America, not great because of Fidel. Southeast Asia could be worse. We've been dealt CIA. I mean, do we go... Well, we've got nuclear subs, I guess. So nuclear subs to clean up Africa's alright, although we're not high on ops to do so. It's either John Paul, Southeast Asia, which is super risky, or CIA. Or nuclear subs, but yeah. Warsaw Pact's gone, right? I quite like John Paul, I think. Knowing that we can nuclear subs later in the turn if we really want to. Again, I'm not sure what's best here, but I'm happy doing that. When Def comes down to 2, we can go into Mexico and just hope they don't have Libthi or Junta. OPEC, Arab Israel. John Paul. Yeah. Should we do John Paul? John Paul CIA nuclear. Let's do John Paul. Okay, well, does that battleground make the difference? Probably not. No. So kitchen debates just goes into the discard pile. They will coup Iran or Libya. Iran would make more sense for the brush war on Pakistan. Yep. Yep, yep. Well, we want that back, don't we? So I'm going to give them OPEC and hold blockade through another turn. Giving up 2 VP kind of sucks there. But I'm not ready to give the China card back immediately. So next up, we can use Arab-Israel war because we've surrounded Israel. So ahead of a Muslim Rev, hopefully, he says. Arab-Israel war 2 into Mexico, drop Central for -1. Drop Southeast Asia ideally for 0. Potentially nuclear subs to coup a few places in Africa. Still need to cover Japan. Yikes. So got a few problems to deal with. Okay. Feeling confident enough to overprotect. Respect. I will go Arab-Israeli war, and we'll go 2 into Mexico. Not even a 6 would do it, pal. I guess the overprotect makes sense with us holding the China card. But I feel like, you're already alright in Asia, and I've got enough problems elsewhere. Okay. Let's do some scoring card swaps. No, that hurts. Now I'm not into nuclear subs. Not going to get enough mileage out of it. That's rough timing for us. Dang. Well, can't be helped. It's what it is. So what else do we want to do? Where are we at now? Let us overprotect France and continue to threaten Israel. We've got Camp David coming, which helps us in Israel as well. So we just want to, keep our noses in front. Oh, that's rough. Rough, 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 rough. Bad timing. We're now looking for, like, Panama Canal returned and a well-timed Voice of America. Oof. So it goes. Oh, hello. Sorry, I didn't realize I'd zoomed in so much there. Where did that one op go? Argentina. That makes a lot of sense. We're now 6. We will put 1 in West Germany ahead of Willy Brandt. Socialist governments is gone, so I'm mostly thinking about how could, in the headline, something happen to frig with Europe. Suez is still in the deck. What's going here? Panama. Okay, lovely. That's good for our access. I think we'll go Brazil here. And we'll hope we really need to get a hunter. Well, I'm a lucky boy. Defectors, one small step. Lovely hunter. That's not puppet. That's our 9 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2. Oh no, wait. I've used that card. How I learned. It's got to be hunter, right? All day long. Well, Willie. Now I'm glad I put the op in there. Big coup. Please, please, please. That'll be a no. They do indeed will repair Argentina. We will take Venezuela, and that is the end of that chapter. We'll put 1 in Panama ahead of Liberation Theology, and just ops in Battlegrounds. Now we do have the classic AR7 How I Learned 5VP gambit. And World Peace isn't super scary for us with CIA back in the deck and Lone Gunman still to come out. So it's a coherent option. I want you to make it here. Yeah, good, because now we one small step you. That old chestnut. We will belatedly level up Asia. That's a lot of ops. No, you don't. You want to do it again? No, you don't. Well, sorry. South America away. Now, regrettably, we are going to have to. We either give the China back. I kind of like giving the China card back and holding Arsenal on blockade. Oh well, maybe we'll ditch Gunman here. Suez, Che, and Cult Rev. Does that make me less inclined to give the China card back? Because they are now not going to be able to use Cultural Revolution before turn 7. What's left in the deck? NASA, Korea, Allende Loan, Libthi, Portuguese Empire, South Africa, Brezhnev U2, Quagmire, Muslim Rev, and We Will Bury You. I feel like there are enough bad cards that if we hold Arsenal through the reshuffle in turn 6, we can pitch Blockade plus potentially Lone Gunman and a lot of other crap cards. What I don't want to do is be left with... Like, if I'm left with Blockade and get dealt Lone Gunman, and I've got the China card, I have to use the China card anyway. So I think I want to use the China card, knowing they can't pull it with Cult Rev. They're either going to have to give it to me with Nixon slash... Oh yes, that's how you get your Malops. Well done. Do I still want to How I Learned for DEFCON 5? It still nets me 3 VP. I think I do. Oh, where do we want to put the other one? Korean War still hasn't gone. Let's just do Overprotect. Brush War hasn't gone. So they're both 50-50s. Wow. Thailand's less because of Indo-Pakistani War, so let's just jam the other one there. Okay, I'm alright with that. I personally think it's a good idea to hold Arsenal rather than use it for ops, and that may be wrong, but it's what I'm doing. Hyundai for influence. Fine. Okay, so we event puppet governments. Where do we want to go with puppet governments? Let's set up threatening rear lines and adjacency to Nigeria. How about that? This does mean they're going to coup again to finish the turn. But we don't have access to it. Getting realigned out of Argentina is kind of rubbish. No, yeah, it needs doing. End result is they're going to coup Nicaragua here. And then, because we're not going to get 3 VP, we'll counter coup with How I Learned. Seems very bland after all that big talk at the start of the turn, but there you go. We're a well-timed Voice of America out of sorting out Africa, at least. Right, we'll have a speculative coup back there to get our Millops. Not expecting to get it, but we do. Europe scoring lovely, grain sales incredible. Enough stuff we can pitch away a blockade. Libthi, NASA, lads. But grain's the headline. Ideally pulling ABM. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine. Yeah. Let's get graining. Now we're in the unenviable situation. If we do ask not, we could be given lone gunman. But I think we do have to ask not this turn. We're keeping NASA out of the deck for a little while, getting rid of blockade because we've got nothing to blockade anyway. I think we're just extremely unlucky on the occasion that happens. So he may wheelbarrow you, but then we just realign Cuba. Getting quagged kind of sucks. Quagmire, Muslim Rev, and ABM are the worst cards to see here. Okay. Alright, I can live with that. It's 3 VP for them, but if we get a... Oh, what a pull. That's even better. Right, so we do want to coup, certainly. I guess we coup Nigeria, right? Just get a foothold on the board. Or do we coup Zaire so that we can go into South Africa and then try and realign? Yeah, I think we want to do that. Now that's a brush warable Zaire, isn't it? Look at it. Hoo boy. Alliance of Progress for 4 VP is enough to make me salivate. So we want to drop Europe scoring, event alliance, blockade away a bunch of crap. Fine. Yes, yes, yes. Don't really want you to go into Botswana immediately, but that was probably overly eager on my part. We'll see if he reacts immediately or does something else. I mean, yeah, I could have flipped Nigeria. Too excited about realigning Angola. Way too excited. South Africa unrest would be really bad because they break South Africa and take Botswana. Very impulsive. It's how I live. Brezhnov. Do. Okay. Uh, yeah, that was silly of me. Let's see whether it makes me suffer or not. Bear to space. 4 VP's good, and then we're going to blockade away all this other chaff. We want to pull VOA and brush. Please no lone gunman. Pretty please. So yeah, the red cards left are Lone Gunman, Portuguese Empire, South Africa, Quagmire, and Muslim Rev. Missile Envy, Brush, Salt still in the deck. Good blue cards. Voice of America, Yasuri, Nixon, Colonial Rear Guards. And OAS, which isn't shabby. So worst case scenario, we ask not and we get dealt Lone Gunman, Summit, Quagmire, and Muslim Rev. Best case scenario, we get Brush, VOA, Salt, Yasuri. If we ask not and get given Missile Envy, we can event it. There's stuff he doesn't want to give up either. Alright, that looks like it's ahead of a Muslim revolution, so I'm not going to fall for Iran. That is on the better side. And if he does not Muslim Rev right now, we can Missile Envy him and get 4 free ops. So yeah, Missile Envy can pull Muslim Rev, Quagmire, Yasuri, Salt, or NORAD as 3 and 4 op cards. In a way, NORAD would be the worst of those, with Quagmire still in the deck. Okay, he just events it. Annoying. So we will retake Egypt. Now there's not a lot of appetite to event Missile Envy. Yep, okay. I think we want to brush War Angola, right? It's 50-50. Maybe first we want a Colonial Rear Guards. And if he doesn't play into Botswana, we now have a 66% brush war. Yeah, there's no other two-step places to be brushed. It's got to be Africa. That's good for us, because he may just choose to take Israel again. Oh, okay. Be lucky. Oh, we were not lucky. We were redealt brush war, though, which is ridiculous. All right. We got NORAD. That's all the early war cards. We got Nixon. They got VOA and Yasuri. That's a shame. They got Sadat. We got NASA, so we do want to do NASA before they do Sadat. They got Salt, but there's nothing in the deck. They got Lone Gunman, which is good for us. We got Peck and South Africa. Okay. So Lone Gunman is the only red card we know they have. NATO's in effect, right? So special relationship's juicy. That's good. Okay. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, Brush War looks all right, right? Brush War, it's headlineable. It's the best time to hit Angola. We've got the South Africa cards. Yeah, let's go Brush. And if we get Quagmired, at least we get Millops. Okay. We're going to have another crack on Angola. Be lucky! We were lucky! So they'll decide whether they want a one-op coup or they want to hit a big coup afterwards. But either way, we've done what we can to put ourselves into a position of success in Africa. I mean, he may salt Brush, because Pakistan is a 66% opportunity to dominate. So there's some advantage to Brush to salting. So to navigate through this late war, we need to pick up some scores. We're not going to get VOA, annoyingly. We need Tunasa before Sadat. Okay. So now he's only 2 ops away from causing trouble. Although he needs to put 2 in Angola. That's unfortunate. Did just enough there. Dang it. Alright. Enough of these shenanigans. I'm going to use the China card, and I'm going to then take it back with Nixon. But I'm damned if I'm giving up there. So we know they've got VOA, Usurian, Salt. We don't know the rest. But I like Special Relationship. I like Nixon. I don't like the rest, but now South Africa and Portuguese are at least manageable. We can space one of them. Hold NASA. We're going to have to do a lot to come through this late war unscathed. But we'll try. We'll try, dang it. Okay, I'm relieved that they are not going for Brush War, because I think that would have been really bad for us. So now what do we want to do? What are we looking at on the board? They've dominated the Middle East, which we can't do a lot about right now. So let's start with spacing South African unrest. Or do we think they've got into the Dominican Republic because they're worried about being dominated? In which case... no, not 2. That would be silly. And the other one, we can put in Venezuela to make sure that they don't... I'm thinking if they jam Venezuela and do manage to take it, they then threaten Brazil. And we've got OAS founded. That'll do for now. Okay. Perfect timing. Couldn't be helped. We're going to give up NASA. I just want that out of my hand at this point. Arsenal is gone. So we're going to event Nixon, event special relationships, space South African unrest, repair Portuguese Empire. Those are all fine. Oh man, ABM as well. Rough. Well, that is especially annoying. I do not have a lot to say about that. Put me in a bad spot. Well done. Right, we're going to take Egypt for sure. And we'll tap Botswana just to make it less realignable for the moment. That feels bad, but that's life. And I want to get a space off with South African and event Nixon to get the China card back. If he doesn't use Usuri. If he does use Usuri, Nixon's 4 VP. 2 VP. Ugh. If only it was 4 VP, I could do with that right now. But this now looks like it's going to be a late war scramble for me. And behind in space. Another one small step would be good. So what's your other card? Good work. So we'll put Portuguese in. This must go, please. Oh, thank goodness. We would have been in a bad way being trapped then. Terrorism is good because it makes their life difficult with Usuri. We will bury you as gone, so arms race isn't too... missile envy, sorry, isn't too bad. We can terrorize them anytime we like. So it's got to be colonial rearguards or missile envy, right? Ortega is fine for us, don't need to worry. So the advantage of missile envy is if they're holding war games, they're stuffed. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Iran Contra. Once again, we got blockade, and that's probably our hold card. So Ortega's fine, Envy's fine, Iran Contra R7 fine. We can event terrorism. So we're either terrorizing, missile envying, or colonial rearguardsing. So worst case scenario, missile envy pulls US Japan. But it does keep them down in the headline phase. Well, I'm going to missile envy them. Missile envy is always fun. We'll worry about terrorism and colonial rearguards later. Oh, they're headline peaking. Then I am definitely colonial rearguarding first. See, that space mattered. Giving away perfect information. Does at least prevent them dropping Africa scoring in the headline. They can't be unhappy with the Junta, though, can they? This is a disaster for us with a 2 Venezuela coup Venezuela. Interesting. Kept DEFCON up. So if they coup, Missile Envy is unplayable because of Cal. Well, not anymore. So now, do we Missile Envy them? Terrorism them? Missile Envy is good, right? Because then they can't drop a scoring card. So we die when they give us duck and cover because they don't have any of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 4-op cards. 7 4-op cards. That seems improbable. So let's do it. We may just get given Yusuri and then steal the China card. And if we get a 4-op card that we can use, we can flip Angola. So let's see what we get. US-Japan would be crap. Ooh. Well, yeah, then we have a counter coup. All right. Where do we want it? Do we want it in Africa? I think we want it in Africa, don't we? Because we can OAS into Brazil and Chile to cause trouble, and we don't want to get realigned out of South Africa. So I think that's okay. Yeah, okay. So implying no scoring card that matters there. Nuclear test ban. And we've used arms race. So we've still got 6 cards? Yeah. I like Ortega into Ivory Coast for domination. And I like another 1. In El Salvador. So event Nixon, event terrorism, event OAS, finish with Iran Contra whole blockade. I'm fine, I guess. Alright, so this is only bad when they hold exactly Africa scoring. I may space Iran Contra, actually. Because I don't want to be peeking. It's 1 in 3, isn't it? Yeah. This game is very close. Okay, I am going to space. Great. So they've Dutch duck and cover. We know they have Yasuri and 2 other cards. The upshot of terrorism, if we don't pull Yasuri, is he now has to play it because he's spaced. And we hold the China card so we can jam Koreas. So he's got a card he wants to play even less. Grain sales? Tear down this wall? I mean, we can't hold terrorism. So we have to play it. And now's the time. Amazing. Now, does that kill you? Do you have tear down this wall? Do you have CIA? Do you have grain sales? Oh, that's always a bad sign. Ah, okay, just solidarity. Could be worse. We OAS and we break Chile and Uruguay to make sure they don't dominate in the headline. So, solidarity's gone as well. We have got something to blockade, but again, we might just UN intervention it to get it out of our hand, because Flower Power at this point in the game is just worth 4 clean ops most of the time. UN into Pakistani war is a 1 in 3 because they've just taken Burma. Romania shuttle dip is not playable because both regions. Asia hasn't scored. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But we don't dominate, so it's not very attractive. Cambridge 5 and Latin American debt crisis. Latin American debt crisis is very annoying, in fact. So that's. Yeah, we might have to blockade and UN. Ooh, that's kind of rough for us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what's missing? Marine application, flower, shuttle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Cambridge 5, 9. Well, unfortunately, Purge is still in the deck. We don't have a super clean headline option. I guess it's Indo-Pakistani war? That then makes shuttle diplomacy more playable later in the term. So let's go with Indo-Pak. But we don't sting them here. Like, we've got no gotcha moment. But CIA, Grain, Tear Down This Wall are all still in the pile. Hasn't Hunter gone? Have I missed? Yes. Card tracking has been let down by me again. 3, 6, 9, 13? 11, 3, 6, 9, 22 in the discard? Yeah, good. And 31 removed. 3, 6, 9, 12, 30. So I'm missing one that I failed to remove. PCR is gone. Okay. So we're very vulnerable to Africa or South America scoring in war games, and there's almost nothing, to some extent, there's nothing we can do about it. Like, that's just the position we're in. So scoring card timing is pretty pivotal here, and we have none of the information on it. Really wish that we'd left them with CIA last turn, or tear down this wall. Would have been nice just to finish up. Flipping India here is pretty huge because it does give us shuttle diplomacy as a gambit. Only when Asia scoring shows up. In fact, we may just want to use shuttle diplomacy for ops to dominate Asia rather than be fancy about it. There's a whole lot of trouble that he can cause. Another purge would be annoying for sure. The Reformer transforms Europe. There you go. That's a very good headline for them. I have at least covered. Yeah, France gets stung. But Italy and Germany are safe. And that, of course, makes Glasnost much more playable for them. So I think I have to Latin American debt crisis away flower power and UN intervention blockade, right? Which is a bit bleh. All right, be very lucky, please. Please, please, please. Oy. Well, that puts paid to the shuttle dip gambit. Are they going to drop Europe scoring hastily here? I imagine it would make more sense for them to coup Panama here or Angola. Okay. Asia, war games, and grain sales. They did well. That India would have been huge. Absolutely huge. Iranian hostage crisis. U2 incident. And how I learned. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes. So, shuttle diplomacy effectively. Shuttle diplomacy effectively gives us a VP in Asia. It's not very exciting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6. So they don't hold South America scoring. So I think we just drop DEFCON. Good. And I expect them to take Chile. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If we flip that, is 7 apiece. There's not enough time. There's not enough time to try and flip Asia for domination, basically. Is there? Not even with the China card. Let's think about their hand. Asia War Games, Grain, Suez, Iran, U2. So I think maybe what we need to do first is UN intervention away blockade. I was just trying to think, what is good? Do we China card jam Chile? And then they've got Suez, Iran, U2, 345, 345. No. I mean, I don't think so. We're not gonna. So we're in a bind because it looks like we're going to final scoring, right? And if we're dominated in the Middle East and South America, but we dominate Europe, Central America, and Africa, say, it's close. It's very close. I mean, if we take Chile, the problem is we're exceptionally vulnerable to Peru and realigns. But it feels like just giving up on it's giving up on it, which also is kind of rotten. All right. We'll retake France, and we're going to put one in Chile. And then if he drops Asia scoring, we take it with the China card. But I expect he'll use Suez, Iran, U2, something like that here to just take Chile and have done with it. Okay, well, in that case, I think I do use the China card to take Chile. Doesn't feel spectacular, but I'm doing it. Interesting. World peace is fun. So we Latin American debt crisis away, shuttle diplomacy, and we'll have a coup, and we'll have a coup in Iran. Oh dear. That's a shame. 4, 5, 6, and we can use intervention blockade to finish. So we get one more power coup with flower power. Ah, he's giving away grain sales. Interesting. I'd love to. So now we have another coup on Iran. Oh, for goodness sake. I mean, he's decided that's the way of avoiding losing to DEFCON, which is absolutely his prerogative and very sensible. Now, do you take Iran or do you do? So we'll have one more coup on it. This is huge. Be lucky. Come on. Oh. I mean, that's very tragic. But we have leveled up in South America temporarily. Of course, we're not far off being punished there by going into Peru, but we'll have to take the rough with the smooth at this point. Oh yeah, he was holding Iranian hostage crisis all this time, so flipping it was a bad thing. Oh well. I'm an idiot. So we will UN intervention, blockade, and we will coup, yeah, to dominate. They've still got Suez and U2. If they Suez France, we repair France. This is going to be an interesting turn 10 now. Kapow. So I think for now we just pop another one in France to cover Suez, if he does choose to event it. This turn 10 is going to be something for the ages. A lot of the board is very much hanging on by a thread, right? They can flip Central America for Dom, South America for Dom. Now that the Iranian hostage crisis is gone, we could hit Iran. Okay, so we just repair Suez here. Yeah. So we use independent reds to make sure we at least dominate in Europe. All right, roll on turn 10. Exciting times. All right, so if we purge, do we do enough in Europe? Socialist governments is still in the deck. So Chernobyl purge isn't so good. We don't have a space card, so Star Wars can't really be triggered. Although we also kind of want to trigger it. Flower powers in effect, so Iran Iraq War is not playable. But we may just want to launch in by defecting the headline. Although just purging him turn 10 is brutal. Does also mean they may not be able to space, which then in turn means if we space, we can Star Wars for VOA. Aldrich, Iran, Iraq, Red Scare, Reagan, Chernobyl, Reagan. Yeah, right. So if we purge them and then space Aldrich to turn on Star Wars, although we can Aldrich to chuck Iran, Iraq, right? What can they headline? Muslim Rev, Decol, SocGov, OPEC, Glasnost, Pershing. So maybe we defect them and then we purge them. Yeah, great. Coup on Venezuela? Or coup on Angola? It's a big coup if they go for Angola. Alright, this one's big. Intriguing. Alright, so we count coup in Zimbabwe for domination. Do they have arms race is the question. No. Arms race is in the discard pile. Right, okay, so we don't need to worry about not using a big enough card. So this is fine. Muslim Revolution is a disaster for us. This is tight. Really tight. OPEC's worth 3 VP to them. Muslim Rev's great for them. Glasnost is good. Marine Barracks bombing hurts us a bit, but not as much as others. Decol's still in the deck. Okay. Must be responded to. Special relationship is out the deck. Yeah, if they keep tippy tapping all turn, we still win in the end, right? So that's fine for now. If they're holding Europe scoring, they're toast. So yeah, this is very, very sensible for them. Now, do you also go? Yeah, well done. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we need to redominate Africa and overprotect Italy. Right, so there'll be 8 VP, 8 VP, sorry, 8 VP at the moment as things stand. Middle East and China card is 8 VP, and we've got 9 VP on the board. That's regrettable. So now they are at 11 VP, and we're at 9 VP on the board, so we need a 2 VP swing at the end of the turn. So if we Chernobyl South America, if we Chernobyl, let's have a think. If we Chernobyl Asia, what can't they do? I mean, they're just slamming the China card in stuff, and we've got ops to repair it. Chernobyl only stops the placing of influence, so it doesn't stop coups. But Brazil, they're both very well overprotected. So do we Chernobyl the Middle East? I think maybe we do the Middle East, right? Because then we can tap Iraq and Saudi. Right, let's do that. And now we're trying to keep our nose in front. If he's got Mazimo, oh yeah, unbelievable. Thank goodness we Chernobyl it, I guess. So next up, take Libya, and then finish by breaking Middle East. If they don't do something to break us elsewhere. This is going to be tight. Very tight. We have at least prevented Middle East control with that, but boy howdy. Here comes the China card. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. So now we coup Southeast African states. Oh, ouch. So they're AR7, and then we can respond. But it's going to be very tight. They may have us. Because if they go into Uruguay, we can only break one of the Middle East or South America. We can redominate Africa, but that may not be enough. So we can only hope that they have 3 blue cards, none of which they're happy playing. Or Europe scoring, or even Africa scoring at this point. If they have Africa scoring, we probably win. If they have Europe scoring, we definitely win. If they have neither, we're probably losing in final by a whisker here. If they take Uruguay, we could retake Chile. So actually, one op. If they take Uruguay, we can break Middle East and retake South America to stop domination. Wow, it's a good game. It's played very well. The terrorism could have been even better. The terrorism was still pretty good and did give them a bad turn 9 experience. Well, this can't be a scoring card. It's taking too long to decide. So we are going to be left with a quandary. I'm just hoping it's a really small one. It's not! It's a really big problem. Well, GG's. Yeah, okay, well done. So we have to retake those. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the other one op. Alas, we are dead on the board. So they've got 13 VP, and we get 6 VP back. 7 VP back. But that is as good as we're going to do. So let's pop into Libya. Yep, good game, good game. Alas, it was a good journey, but we ran out of road. That is the way the cookie crumbles. There are probably changes I could have made, but I'm happy for Carl. Well done, Chairman Meow. All right, that is all for a little while. Yeah, no other game scheduled yet, but we still have 6 more ITSL games and 8 more Rutzel games because I'm still chasing people to play there. So you will see me in the near future because I've got to rattle through those. Yep, let's Yep. All right. Okay. Enough chit chat. Thank you for watching. Alas for the result, but so it goes. I look forward to seeing you in the future. We'll get another one in. I'm at least 8 and 6 in it, which is great. I was hoping to get to 10 and 10. So there's still time. All right. I enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you a lot for coming by, and I will see you soon. Till then, bye for now.